It is live. Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much. Hi everyone. Hope you are there. Let more people join in as the timing is 4 p.m. So before starting, let me just introduce myself to you. Hi, this is Dr. Barkha. I am running Rahat Occupational Therapy and Speech Therapy Center in Pitampura, Delhi. And I am an occupational therapist. This is an interactive session, so everybody is free to ask anything about this topic, which I will be talking to you about. As the topic is tips on managing the screen time and the behavioral issues in toddlers during this lockdown. So now many people have joined in. Yes. So I think I should start with the topic right now. So as this is lockdown going on and there are closures of the schools, there is totally a big social restriction going on around us, and the kids are not able to go for the outdoor plays, and they have very closed connections, like they are just staying with the parents or grandparents. So what all emotional issues the kids are facing these days, I'll be talking about. So hope you are much more acquainted with the same. The problems, the emotional problems the child is facing these days is, number one is anxiety. Then is somewhere the child is irritable these days. He was, and thanks to the online classes, because they have made the child bit indulgent in his studies, maybe indulgent in some or the other purposeful activities. And also the child these days is very stressed, bored, and there are feelings of loneliness in the child, and also they are shirking their homework when the online classes have started, and also they are shirking away from this online classes. They are not sitting during these online classes. Specifically, if we talk about the toddlers, toddler age group is actually consistent of 0 to, if we say, till the age of 5, specifically 2 to 5 if we talk about. And they are much more screen dependent during this lockdown period. Earlier they used to go to school, they had somewhere to be indulged in, they used to go to school, they had some specific time period where they used to give their time to, after coming to school they used to take a nap, and then they used to go for outdoor play and do their homeworks. But these days all the routine has been disturbed, and here I am to talk about what all the emotional issues are and how to manage specifically screen time. Screen time, now what is screen time? Screen time is when the child is consistently sitting on phone, let it be TV, let it be their tabs, MacBooks, everything. So how to manage that? See, these days the parents are also busy. Somewhere, if the parent is working these days, so the parent is somewhat indulged in his or her own work, and if in case they are not working, they are indulgent in their household work. Like if the mother is cooking, the child has nobody to play with. So what to do at that time? Obviously, what the mother will do, she'll give away her phone to the child, and the child is busy playing his favorite videos on the phones, and it has very bad adverse effects, if we talk about, on the child's mental and physical development, mind. And screen time is no good unless until it is given for a specific period of time, and if it is given under the guidelines of WHO. This is a summarization of everything I'll be talking about today. So I have discussed what all emotional issues the child is facing these days. Even if we talk about adolescents, right now the session is for toddlers, but if we talk about adolescents, they are also somewhere irritable these days. So it goes for all, I would say. And what are the causes? Why are they having such emotional issues? some kids are not having any emotional issues at all, they are happy. But at the other end, some of the kids are having some emotional issues. So what are the causes? Maybe number one cause is maybe there is chronic stress at home. Maybe the mother is stressed for some or the other reason, maybe the father is stressed for some or the other reason, and the child has nobody to talk to. And the next is if the parents have very strict rules at home, means they have very authoritarian principles which they are following at home. Maybe they are very rigid with their child, maybe they are very disciplined, and they are actually expecting that the child should be disciplined too. And maybe the child's parents are distant somewhere. Maybe the child's father is somewhere posted outside his native place where the child is right now. Maybe the mother is too much involved with the online work she has for her work. So that in that case also the child might have such issues, those emotional issues I am talking about. And also if the child is too much emotionally away from their parents, means the parents are very emotionally distant, means they are not very much okay to talk about everything to their parents. See, no parent is bad. Let me just tell you that no parent is bad, but somewhere unknowingly we do such things, like if a mother is consistently on phone talking to her relatives, maybe she is consistently on TV watching her favorite serial, so the child gets emotionally distant from the parents somewhere unknowingly. Then the child has nobody to talk his feelings to. So that in that case also the child might feel irritable, and there is number one, no outdoor play as well. And also when the child is of special needs, he needs to go somewhere. If the child is autistic, if the child is ADHD, he has nowhere to go, he has nowhere to channelize his energy. Then also the child must be having emotional issues. And also emotional issues, if they are, the major reason is screen. If the child is too much involved in the screen, maybe the child is sitting for the whole day on the screen, then too the child might be too much of irritable. That I'll be talking about in the next upcoming session. Then everybody is here for checking the management of all this. So what is the management? How we can manage the screen time and the behavioral issues at home? Right now they are at home, they are not going anywhere. So where to approach? And we have nobody to approach, we have nobody to look on for. So obviously we'll have to manage those things at home. So what to do? Number one is maintain their routine. If a child is having such issues, emotional issues, even if they don't have, they require to maintain a specific routine, a time to wake up, a time for a bedtime, a time to eat their meals. And during this lockdown, even adults, we as adults lagged our routine. We were waking up late and sleeping even late. So first we need to maintain their routine, and we need to model it ourselves, because we are the role models of a child and they look up to us. Whatever we are doing, if we are waking up late, obviously the child would wake up late. If we are actually sleeping late, the child would obviously sleep late. So number one is maintaining the routine. Number two is we should be able to detect early signs of any emotional issue in the child. So what all are the red flags when you feel that he requires some help? The red flags are if the child lacks concentration. Earlier his concentration was good, but now his concentration he is having problem with the concentration issues. If it is there, then you should be aware. If he or she is having lack of memory or somewhere less memory, when you made him learn some particular lesson and he has forgotten it too early, so you should able to be check that what needs to be done. And this is a major red flag. if he is lacking memory, or he is having some or the other issues with the immediate memory, if we talk about, or the long-term memory, and if he has trouble sleeping, if his or her sleep cycle is disturbed, if he or she is waking up late at night, he has or she has trouble sleeping during the night, and they are sleeping around 4 a.m. in the morning, or 3 a.m. in the morning, or 1 a.m. even. After 12 is a big no for such age group, for a toddler age group I would talk about. So if they are waking up late, it is a big red flag. And if their psychomotor activity is reduced or very increased, means if they are hypopsychomotor active, or if they are hyperpsychomotor active. Now what is that? If a child is hypopsychomotor active, that means his psychomotor activity has reduced. Now what is psychomotor activity? For example, I am giving you few examples of low psychomotor activity. It means the child is actually spending too much of time in the washroom. You must have seen such kids who are spending too much of time in the washroom, or who are taking too much time while bathing or dressing up. So, and if they are consistently escaping from their work, mama, I need to go to washroom, मुझे शुशु आई है, मुझे जाना है, I don't wish to, maybe they are escaping away from their work. So that is low psychomotor activity. And high psychomotor activities means that they are turning too hyperactive to control. They are touching each and everything, they are breaking the things, they are breaking their toys, they are not sitting at one place. This is high psychomotor activity. So both are bad. There should be optimal level of functioning wherein the child is mentally fit, so as he is able to understand what is right and what is wrong. And at this toddler age group, the child has very inappropriate, I would say, judgment skills. He doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. So being parents or being their grandparents, we are there to tell them that what is better right and what is wrong. So these are some of the managements which you can do at home, and they need quality time instead of quantity time. Never feel guilt for the thing that you are not spending proper time with your child. If you are working, that is okay, but even if you are giving 1 hour to the child, that should be fruitful, that should be quality. See, in parenthood, quality matters, not quantity. So if you are there to listen to him, if you are there to listen to his concerns, so that is the most beautiful thing, I would say. And the last management thing I would talk about is talk to them. Don't feel they know everything. Don't make assumptions that he's fine, he's looking fine, maybe he's fine. No, talk to them every day and be a patient listener. Listen to them. Even if they talk for 1 hour, patiently listen to them. Don't overreact even if they say something bad. Try and listen to them patiently and what they are talking, and then after they finish, just tell them what is right and what is wrong. Ask them how they spend their day, how did their day go through, how are their friends doing. So these things matter. These are very small things which matter. And that also eases their anxiety. Even if in case they are somewhere or the other irritable, they'll ease listening to you, and with a gratification that my parents are there to listen to me, they have listened to me. So that is the most beautiful thing, I would say. And last, management for the emotional issues during the lockdown is avoid screen, which I'll be talking about right now. How to avoid screen, that is a major question these days, which nobody knows how to. So before telling you the how to avoid screen, I would like to educate you about the WHO guidelines of screen time, which WHO have actually recommended for each and every age group, which we do unknowingly bad to our kids. We feel that giving phone is a good way they'll pass their time with, which is bad. that results in too much of irritability. And before discussing the WHO guidelines, I would like to tell you few red flags that how you know that he is getting too much of screen or she is getting too much of screen. कैसे पता लगेगा? If your child is too much of screen dependent, उसको मोबाइल का एडिक्शन हो गया है, he is totally addicted to mobile. How you know? What are the signs? Maybe he is remaining too much of overexcited. Maybe you haven't seen this phase before and he has turned to be very hyperactive, which is very hard for you and your husband or your family to manage. Maybe he is too much of disobedient and disorganized. Maybe he is not bathing for the whole day and he is too much glued on the PUBG or on the games he is playing. Maybe he forgets that he has a bathing time in the morning. Maybe he is bathing in the evening. Maybe he is avoiding the things which he does in daily life. And maybe you have a hard time taking his phone away from him. If you snatch his phone away, then what we will do? He will shout, he'll howl. So these are some of the red flags which I am talking to you right now. And maybe his grades are falling. Maybe he used to perform very well in the class, but right now he is not. Why? Maybe he is too much on screen. And the child lacks EQ but has high IQ. These days, the patients come to me. I deal with occupational therapy, as I told you. The parents tell me, ma'am, he knows all ABCD, ma'am. He knows all 1 to 100. If we talk about toddlers, I am talking about. He knows everything, ma'am. He knows, ask him the spelling of cat. He's just 3.5. He'll tell you CAT cat. But what they lack is emotional intelligence. They are not able to relate to the emotions effectively. And those children are normal, completely normal. Neither they are autistic, neither they are ADHD, but they are coming to us for what? For speech delays, for motor development delays, overall development delays. They are coming to us. Normal kids. And they know everything. They know all the rhymes because they are totally glued to the screen, and they have developed accents which I am talking about, like they as if they are UK based or they are USA based. A for apple, B for ball means they don't have they even don't have Indian accents. Like we are talking English right now, but they have very developed accents, which is not right. They don't know Hindi properly. But yes, they don't know the rhymes. But what they lack is, they lack purposeful speech. They don't have purposeful speech. If they wish to ask mama that I am mama hungry, please give me a bowl of rice. But they are not able to show their concerns. They have speech problems. They have problems with conveying what they want. Such toddlers. So this is also one of the big red flag, that don't assume that your child is very brainy. Every kid is these days, just thanks to screen time. They have less EQ, and because of less EQ, they are not even emotionally attached to their parents. They are not emotionally attached to their family, immediate family I am talking about. They are not expressing what they feel to their parents. They are hiding the things. Why? Because somewhere or the other in the past, we overreacted. We howled maybe. So they have stopped expressing their emotions to the mother or the father. So now I am coming to WHO guidelines of the screen time, which everybody is very much interested. Nobody knows. They should read. So what are the guidelines? If the child is less than 1.5 years, means he is 0 to 18 months, जिसको हम बोलते हैं. So should there be any screen time for those kids? I say no, and even WHO says big no. And what we do is, even the 1-year-old kid is running the mobiles like anything, and the parents are happy. See, ma'am, see, he's playing videos, he's playing Facebook videos, he's ordering the things on a shopping website, and he can play music on phone. he can do this, he can do that on phone. Don't be happy about it, but it is a red flag that the child is using phone before the age of 1.5 years, which is very bad. So even if you wish to give him mobile or the screen, that should last for, even if you wish to, then it should be not more than 10 or 15 minutes, and that too with the parent involvement. And these days the kids eat if the screen is on. What you people believe? If the TV is on, then only the child will eat. Otherwise he would refuse to eat. No, I am not eating. So this should be avoided, and that should be taken away gradually, not immediately. Now you have listened that this is bad, that the child should not be eating with the TV on, with the mobile on. Don't snatch away abruptly or immediately. Just grade it gradually, धीरे धीरे से, just slow down his time of getting the screen before the age of 1.5 years. And when the child is 1.5 years to 2 years, 18 months to 24 months, then it should be less than 1 hour, and that too with the parent involvement. Why the parent involvement is important? Somewhere you know. I don't feel I need to tell you everything. Why it is important? The parent involvement is there because the child's judgment skills are inappropriately developed at this age, and they require much more of physical and emotional involvement with the real world, because they are very creative at this age, and the brain is also very flexible at this age. The brain is developing. The initially 0 to 5 years, the brain is much flexible and capable of change. Even if a child is having a speech delay or a developmental delay, we as therapists tell the parents to take their child to the therapist in between 0 to 5 years, because he is capable of change. And if you take him after 6 years, or if you wake up late that my child is right now not even speaking, or not able to walk properly, or is frequently falling, so what happens is we have adapted to it. The way you talk at this age, like we are 30 plus, the way we talk, the way we walk, can it be changed? It can't be. So best is if at those vulnerable years, if we correct any issue which is coming to the child, and also make him away from the phone, which is very much appreciated. So this time, this 18 months to 24 months, 1.5 साल से 2 साल is a very critical period of a child's brain and motor development, right? So you should, even if the child is watching the screen at this specific age, the parent should be there along with him to tell him what is right or wrong. Like if the child, basically these days the favorite cartoons of the child is Peppa Pig, Motu Padlu, and Veer the Robo Boy. If we talk about Veer the Robo Boy, the cartoon is very beautiful, but it has some or the other 5 or 10 minutes of violence, where the Veer hits the man who does bad things. So we should be there to tell him, beta, this hitting is bad. Beta, this is bad, which is he is doing. He is doing for a good cause. With this, he will develop some skills of judging that okay, hitting is bad. Otherwise the parents come and tell us, nobody hits in our family, but our child is hitting. How? Because they are watching that stuff on the phone, and they are some or the other way passively learning those things, indirectly learning those things. So we need to keep those things in check. So moral of the story is, under 18 months it is no, big no, zero screen time. Let it be TV, let it be mobile, let it be your MacBook, okay? And if the child is 1.5 to 2 years, it should be less than 1 hour, at least 30 minutes, not more than 30 minutes, I would say. And that too with the parent involvement. Now we come to the preschoolers, which is 3 to 5 years. That is also 1 hour, exact 1 hour, which is the same as the online sessions which are going on in the school. Right now, these days, I am getting in touch with many of the parents who are saying the online classes are bad. These are useless. Our child is getting nothing from these online classes, but somewhere they don't realize, yes, the fee part is different. Giving the fee to the schools, and if they have, the parents are having financial issues, that is a different thing. I'm not talking about that, mind it. I am just talking about if they are in touch with their online classes, it is very nice. Why? Because the child is at least in touch with what they have studied during their 2 years of age in their play schools, what they have learned. So it's very important for them to keep in touch with those concepts, because otherwise, if there are no online classes going on in the schools, if they go after 1 year, they'll be like blank. So would you like your child to be blank, totally blank? And also they won't have any purposeful activity to do at home. With the online classes, with the homework they are getting at home, they are at least busy somewhere. Their mind is busy somewhere, in spite of using too much of phones or like having a useless play. So at least they are in touch with their studies, I would recommend. And then comes elementary school age, which is 6 to 10 years. 6 to 10 years में they should be just involved not more than 1.5 years, 5 hours. And also the child at this age is very much understanding. The child understands almost everything the parent is telling to them. So the child should be taught the pros and cons of using too much phone. The parent shouldn't assume that he knows everything, कि मुझे ज़्यादा phone use नहीं करना. The child doesn't know by himself, right? And during the middle school, that too, just 2 hours. 11 to 13 years. Now, phone तो बंद करवा दिया, but solution नहीं बताया. We have stopped the child from getting the phones, too much of phones. What is the solution? How we can stop him using too much of phone? The best thing we can replace their phones with is with toys. बच्चे को toys do. Give him some story books of his favorite cartoon characters. For example, a child's favorite cartoon is Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig, there are so many toys available in the market of soft toys of Peppa Pig, of her brother George. So the child will do creative play, which is very much useful at this age. The child would develop imagination through it. The child would know what is how to make dialogues, and he would develop his vocabulary through it. So that is very important for a child. And if we give storybooks of Peppa Pigs to the child, so he will develop reading skills through it. He will develop a good memory skill, and he will also develop social skills through the same. These things have so much of benefits, whereas the screen has almost nil benefit. So if a child is toddler of 2 to 5 years of age group, your involvement is very much required. You should make your child watch high quality educational videos. If you wish that he should learn ABCD through phone or through TV, you should be there sitting along with him to tell him, not just watching him alone. Leaving the child solitary, leaving the child alone with the screen on is very bad. And the screen has so bad effects, like the blue light coming out of the screen is too much harmful for a child's mind, for a child's fragile mind, I would say. Even in adults, we come across so much of stroke patients who had stroke just because they were watching too much of phone. Now phone we talk about is why we relate phone to the digital abuse. See, if we are watching Facebook doesn't have necessarily all the happy videos, all the comedy videos. It has some violent videos, it has some emotional videos. So child's vulnerable mind is very fragile, and it's capable of too much of a harm through these videos. Even us as adults we develop high BP, we disturb our vital signs being too much on phone. So this is not recommended for adults also, and also for naughty toddlers. So if adult learn not to use phone in front of your toddler, the toddler would be settled himself, because the kids take us as role models. The parents are the role models of the child. So we initially should start the things by ourselves. We should start the change by ourselves. We should not use the phone in front of our child. And we should go, when we are going to the bed, during the bedtime we should switch off our Wi-Fi, which is not good for our health, and also we should switch off our phones or put them on the airplane mode, so us as adults also don't feel the need to touch the phone consistently at night. This is the way the kids would learn not to use phone. First of all, let us model by ourselves and replace those cartoons which are being watched on the TV through toys, storybooks, drawing. The child would love to color Peppa Pig. The child would love to color Motu Patlu, because these are some of his favorite cartoon characters. That you will have to find out. Each kid has different favorite characters of himself, of the cartoon characters he has. So bring him those coloring books. He'll at least develop fine motor skills out of it. He'll develop concentration when he is coloring in his favorite cartoon character. And these have so much of good. He'll develop judgment skills through the storybooks, which is right, what is wrong. And through flashcards, if we are using our child's favorite cartoon characters flashcards, like if a Peppa is there, and in the flashcards, one of the flashcards, if it is shown that the Peppa Pig is running, so the child would speak, the Peppa Pig is running. So that will develop his imagination, his judgment skills, his vocabulary to speak full sentences, which is very much required at this age. And I see kids at my clinic, there are too many kids, mind it, there are too many normal kids coming to us just because of the screen. We term this problem as screen dependency disorder. Neither autism it is, nor ADHD it is. And just because of that, they are having academic issues. They are giving poor performance in the school. So I am giving you some valuable solutions to that, and you are welcome to ask any question which you are not able to relate with, which you are not able to find the question. Even after this session finishes, I'll be very happy to answer your questions, and I'll also be leaving in the comment box all the location details, all the contact details, which you can approach me even after the session is finished. Now, even if now I have told you few home managements for the screen which you can do with your child, even if those management techniques are not working with your child, then where should we go? Where should we go? We should initially go to the pediatrician. Our child's pediatrician, that he is performing low, he is having concentration issues, sir, he is having memory issues, he is right now avoiding the online classes. So they will tell you the way. And what the way will be? The way will be occupational therapy. The way will be special education for your child. The way will be psychological counseling. That depends. That varies from person to person, I would say. Speech therapy if the speech is delayed, and that is not manageable through you. You are not able to manage a speech. So you should go as early as possible, before the age of 5, to any speech therapist you know, to any occupational therapist you know, for his developmental delays without wasting your time, because as if the age progresses above 5, you will have problems rectifying him. He'll also have problems learning the new things, because he has already adapted this way. He knows if I'll point instead of saying I want water, he points out so he is adapted. Okay, I'll do and mama will give. So stop responding to his symbolic language, giving signs. Mama ये चाहिए को, बच्चा ये नहीं बोल रहा कि I want this toy, but the child is saying only symbolic. He is just giving direction to the parents, and he is just taking them to the desired place he wants to get his things. So now I want you to tell one more thing. If you are taking away the phone from your child, is this a good way? If suddenly you watch your child, he is on phone or she is on phone, you have given your phone while you were working in the kitchen, or while you were dusting, or while you were cleaning the house during this lockdown period, or while you were on the online work. So immediately when you see him, don't snatch the phone. Give him some transition time. Give him some warning before the transition. Before you are taking away the phone from your child, just warn him that beta 30 minutes are left. After 30 minutes I'll take away your phone. Beta, now 10 minutes are left. Be prepared, I'll be taking my phone away from you. That would work. At least he'll be prepared that okay, my time period is finished, I'm done with my screen, and he'll be happily engaging in any activity you give him after he gives away his phone to you, because he'll be prepared. Okay, mama prepared me. Mama gave me warning that I'll be taking away the phone from you. Hope that is clear to you. Even if something I miss, you are free to ask me any question. I'll be giving your answers during the end of the session. I'll be happy to respond to you any questions if you have. So now we come to the emotional issues. अब phone use कर लिया, emotional issues आ गए. The child is irritable. The child is right now not concentrating at all in the studies. What to do then? There are many purposeful activities which you can do so as the child forgets phone. Using phone, बच्चा भूल ही जाए phone करना use. You give him some purposeful activities ना at home. Like हमने modeling कर ली. We modeled in front of him that see, parents are not using the phone in front of you. We are switching off TVs. But how he would pass his time? Now we have taken away phone from him. Now how he should pass his time? For that I am there to tell you some purposeful activities which you can do with your child, or he can do alone if he has a sibling. If he has a brother or a sister at home, see, you can play pass the ball game, which is very much enjoyable even at this age we are in. We can play catch and throw, that everybody knows, and he'll develop gross motor skills, fine motor skills out of it. And what he is developing through screen? Nothing. You can play alphabet cancellation game. Now, what is alphabet cancellation game? If you are working in the kitchen, you can't come and play catch and throw, and you can't play pass the ball with your child. You can give something purposeful to your child. You just give him a newspaper, and in a newspaper mark one paragraph, यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ तक. He has to cancel one alphabet. Let it be A, let it be C, give any alphabet. In that particular paragraph, wherever that A is coming, he'll cancel that. And give him, that works best if you give him with a certain time period. आपने उसको एक specific time period दे दिया that I am beta giving you 1 minute or 2 minutes depending upon how big the paragraph is that your common sense allows. How much time to give to the child, and then ask him to cancel those alphabet which you have given. Okay, cancel A, और मैं 1 मिनट के बाद आपसे Newspaper ले लूँगी and then I'll be checking what you have done. What he'll develop through this activity, he'll develop good concentration skill, he'll develop good memory skills, he'll be much more attentive while cancelling those small letters in the newspaper. He'll develop judgment skills, problem solving skills through this. We can play animal hops, we can play katori, chammach, whatever is available at our home, and place it at some particular distance on the floor, and we can ask the child to do animal hops, jump and grab those katori, and then when he has grabbed, then again jump and grab another katori. These are some of the activities which we can do with the child to channelize his energy. We can play wheelbarrow. बच्चे की legs उठा ली and ask him to walk through his hands. You just pick his legs while he is on the floor and he'll walk with his hands. That requires too much of an effort and he'll be tired. He'll be sleeping at the end of the day very peacefully because he is tired. He has channelized his energy. And for the concentration, we can give him beads and we can ask him to put it into a thread. That will develop his fine motor skills. We can give him clay. The kids enjoy clay activities too much. So that is also very valuable, purposeful activity which the child can also enjoy. The child can make a circle with the clay. The child can mold the clay like this. So this is something very purposeful the child can do. Then comes how to manage their ill behavior. Now we are jumping to how to manage their ill behavior. They are throwing tantrums at home, they are shouting, they are misbehaving with their parents. How to be friends with your child. Every parent loves their child the most. Every parent loves his or her kid the most. I understand. But how to be friends with the child? So in that case, I'll be giving you few activities wherein you can just see. Just a second. Okay, now we are jumping to the behavioral management at home. So what are the ABCs of behavioral management at home? What are the behavioral techniques which you do to manage the things at home? So some of the behavioral techniques are ABCs. Now, please check the bell. Please check the bell. Now, what are the behavioral techniques which we can do? There are ABCs. ABCs means antecedents. A for antecedents, B for behavior, and C for consequence. C for is consequence. So antecedents. What are antecedents? Antecedents are triggers. Triggers means what came before a behavior, and consequences what came after it. So antecedents may, for example, if a child is using phone, you saw him watching the phone. What you do is snatch the phone away from him. This is what is trigger. आपने उससे phone ले लिया. Now the behavior is he is howling, he is shouting, he is not ready to give away his phone. This is the behavior. And what will be the consequence? Obviously somewhere which we don't believe deep down, we will be hitting the child either, or we will be shouting at our child that why did you do this? Why didn't you listen to your parents? You are very disobedient. I don't like this way. So how to replace this? How to replace this activity if a child, toddler has not much of good understanding. Another example is the child is touching his father's valuable papers. पापा के favorite जो उनके बहुत ज़रूरी papers हैं, work के लिए important है. He is touching those papers. And what will you do? You will snatch away the papers. No, don't take. Kids minded don't understand. No, they don't understand When you say, no, don't do this, don't go there, what they understand is when you tell them a specific reason or when you give them a specific choice. Example I am giving. When a child is riding a bicycle, he is riding in the middle of the road, and what you do is, don't ride there, come here sideways. Instead of saying those things to your child, you just tell him, beta, this place is unsafe, better go to sideways, instead of saying no or don't. We can give him a valuable reason. Now I talked about phone. If you warn him that, okay, within 30 minutes I'll be taking away this phone from you, he'll be settled, the behavior would be settled, and the consequence at last he'll be prepared. Ki after 30 minutes, when you finish with your phone, we'll be studying. He'll be prepared. Otherwise, what happens is, he'll be irritable and you will also be irritable. So how to replace those antecedents, those triggers? This is what I am telling you right now. So antecedents, triggers को हम कैसे रोकें? Triggers में what we do is we generally become impatient being a parent. How would we correct our child if we as a parent are impatient in front of our child? So to stop those triggers, number one rule is don't assume from your child that he knows everything. बताओगे तभी पता चलेगा. If you will tell him that beta this is right and this is wrong and this is what we expect from you, he'll be much more prepared. And we should give subtle warnings to the child that we'll, after this particular period of time, we'll be taking away the phone from you, or after this particular period of time, your play period is over. So next time we'll be now studying. So he'll be prepared and he'll be happy while studying, because you are actually swearing by what you said. You are on your words. Sometimes what we do as a parent, we tell them, आपको ना टॉफी मिलेगी when you complete this task. Instead of giving them materialistic things, if they complete a task, rather clap for them. Say kind thank yous to your child. Give them thank yous. Say please. Whenever they do some good work, say thank you and appreciate them consistently. This is, as an adult, we also crave for. We also crave for this thing that somebody should be there to value us, but that shouldn't be fake. That should be meaningful when actually something good happens. Instead of giving materialistic things, give them few praises, few appraisals, and avoid giving positive attention, avoid giving positive consequence to your child. Positive consequence का मतलब क्या? If the child has thrown his toys here and there in the full room, he has thrown his toys. What you will do? Most of the parents, what they do? So as the child doesn't yell, or so as the child doesn't howl, they pick the toys themselves and keep them in the cupboard. Instead of picking up the toys yourself, ask your child to pick the toys and place them in the cupboard. This would work. Hope you are getting the things. Even if you are confused somewhere, you are free to ask me, even if this session gets over. I repeat again and again. And minor misbehave should be avoided. If the misbehave is very minor, don't every time tell them what to do. Do this, do that, do this. The child would be ignoring your instructions in future. Rather than give just one instruction and get down the level of your child. If the child is 3 feet tall and you are 5 feet, for example, and if you are giving your instruction from a distance, ki beta go and bring your book and we'll now color in the book. Rather than just go to your child, make eye contact, get down to his level 3 feet, bend your knees, sit to his level, and then ask him that beta please do it. That would have a very good memory. The child would feel that the parent is telling something personally, and that he would listen to also. He wouldn't just ignore what is being said. So that is very much important. Hope you are aware of the things which I am telling you. See, everybody of us knows whatever I am telling you right now. But what we do is, sometimes unknowingly, we as adults also we do some inappropriate things. And now, as I come to the end of the session, I would love your questions, and I would be reading out what all has been asked till now. The parents who are asking the questions in the comment box. I have some questions coming from the First Cry website as well. The person is asking, I have a nephew, 5-year-old. He doesn't have food until we provide him a gadget, which I already spoke to you about. How can we take the gadget away and make sure he doesn't throw tantrums around? That is a graded process, I told you. That is not something a one-day thing. So don't assume that there would be gunshot thing that आज आपने उसका phone लिया and he settled and he wouldn't howl. See, if you are giving him phone during the food time, you can ask him, if you finish your food, once you finish your food, we'll give you phone for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, just 5 or 10 minutes. We can replace that time. उसको before and after में फर्क आ गया बस when you were giving the food during that particular period of time, when the child was having food and he was watching the gadget, instead during that time give him as a reinforcement कि okay, then we'll together watch the TV when your food finishes, and clap for him and then give him the TV, then give him the gadget. And even if he is not responding to those instructions, you may gradually decrease the time. Ki okay, when you are about to finish your food, then we will give you TV. And see, giving TV during the food, even our oral enzymes don't work properly. Our digestive enzymes actually don't work properly when we watch TV while having food. As an adult also I am talking about, for all those you adults. So it is not something which is good for us as a parent. So model the behavior, don't watch TV yourself as a parent. He'll model the same thing and tell him this is bad, all the bad effects of the phones, and gradually reinforce, clap for him when he finishes the food. Now the next question I jump to, I'm trying to help my sister cut down screen time for my niece, but it's difficult with me with the lockdown to keep her away from the gadgets. See, I told you the purposeful activities which you can place. See, your niece would be loving some or the other favorite cartoon characters. She must be loving Peppa Pig or some other cartoon. So use that character and just replace it with the drawing books. She is watching Peppa Pig, but in the drawing book, along with she is doing something purposeful. She is coloring the Peppa. I told you this before. And also, another question is, my brother is 6 years old and had been attending online sessions, but then he keeps switching to playing games and doesn't get any value from the classes. Any suggestions? See, he is getting some or the other thing from the classes. We can't say he is not getting anything until he is not listening to the classes. And one more prerequisite to this problem is, if we talk bad about the teachers, which we do, don't disagree, yes we do, we all generally say bad, we generally have a bad mouth for the teachers or the schools these days because they are taking fees. So we generally talk at home, they are taking fees, the teacher is very bad, she is not doing anything in the class, the online classes are waste. So the kids are silent observers, mind it. Even if the child is 3 or 3.5, he is a silent observer, mind it. So obviously he would be reluctant sitting in the the video is over. Over me, but it's written sorry, we are having trouble with playing this video. What should I do? It's live. No, I did not. It's going live in front of me, but the camera is off. Oh, I guess you are not getting my video, so that is the reason I'm just fixing that glitch. I'm just fixing that glitch, and I'll get back to you soon. Okay, I'll be answering you few questions. If you are getting my video, maybe here I'm not able to see, so I'll be reading one more question along with it. Just a second, I just need to clear it. Hello? Yeah, you are getting my video? Maybe it's not visible to me. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I thought it's not visible to you all. So I'll be reading much more questions for you. There are too many questions. My child throws tantrums every time I take away the screen. I have tried to be patient, explaining to him, but it's the same story every time. See, somewhere or the other, when he is throwing tantrum, because you are giving him a reaction, try and ignore some or the other of your reactions to your child. So as he, there is another question: how do I get his dependence? How do I get his dependence on screens to lower without it becoming a world-ending issue? See, tantrum is thrown only if a child knows that you would react. So best is, if a child is throwing tantrums, better is give him some time out. Time out ka matlab kya? Give him some time out, that if he is angry or if he is shouting and howling, just ask him to go to a room and ask him to be there for 5 minutes. Depends upon the age plus 1 minute. The time period you wish to send him in the room. If he is 3 years, then 3 plus 4 minutes in the room. First he should settle down, and then when he is okay, when he is in a state to talk, then only talk. When he is howling, shouting, don't ever talk to your child, I would suggest. And for the screen time, just replace that screen time so as he doesn't remember he has a screen, and model your behavior first. If his or her father, whomsoever has asked this question to me, is consistently on phone, you can never stop your child from getting to the phone, from getting away from the phone. Next we come to the question, my daughter is 8.5 years old, frequently complains that she is feeling negative nowadays and also having bad dreams. She is usually very irritated, and what can we do to make her feel better? Please try and talk to your daughter first. Maybe he or she has some bad past experiences, or maybe he or she has a bad experience with her or his friend, and maybe he is somewhere or she is feeling neglected from you people. So better is talk about it, and if the situation is not getting stable, then just dial a psychologist. She'll be there to sort the problems out. If she is getting bad dreams, maybe there is something psychologically connected which she doesn't want to share with her parents, because the kids are getting adolescent not at 13 these days. I would say the new adolescent is 8+. So if the child is not very much okay discussing the things with you, and maybe one reason more, the thing she is not discussing much with you is maybe you must have shown some overreaction in the past years. Overreaction means if she told you something which is not to be told, which is something not to be shared with the parents. Maybe you slapped her, maybe you scolded her too much. So she had some pre-notion that okay, telling parents is bad, we shouldn't tell anything to our parents. Now then there is a question: my child is addicted to screen. He watches some cartoons on phone and some on TV. See, cartoon ka to I told you, cartoon may just replace those cartoon characters with those of the real characters. Give her toys of those cartoons. She'll be indulgent playing the role play. She'll be making her own dialogues. He'll be making her own creative play. This age, the child's toddler age is very creative. He'll develop those creative skills himself, but you give him some environment, then only. Then the question is, hello ma'am, should children be allowed to use gadgets even if they are viewing informative videos? If they are watching informative videos, I don't know, you didn't mention the age of your child. If the child is watching informative videos, I explained that the parent should be there to watch what he is watching or what she is watching. You should get involved with your child if your child is below the age of 5. And if he is above the age of 5, then just tell him the pros and cons of using the screen time, and just tell him, just make him feel trusted in you, and then he'll be much more fine. Now coming to the Facebook queries, these were some of the website queries. Facebook queries, I'm trying to help my sister cut down the screen time from money. Okay, that we went through. And now coming down to some more questions. Thank you so much, Asha Singh ji. My child throws a tantrum every time I take away the screen. I have tried to be patient, strict and understanding. Have tried explaining to him, but it's the same story every time. No, it's not the same story. Just be patient with your child and be friends with your child. Give him subtle ways of reinforcement. Don't give him materialistic things कि अगर आप पढ़ोगे तो हम आपको टॉफी देंगे. I am telling this again and again. Don't misunderstand this topic of gratification of your child. He needs your approvals. He needs thank yous. So this is very much important, rather than just, and be friends with your child, not just being, at last, I think all the questions are being answered by now. At last, I would just tell you this thing, that instead of control, teach yourself cooperation. Don't try and control something. If you try and control something, that will skip away, or that would feel very humified. So best is teach cooperation to your child, teach sharing to your child. If your child is not okay sharing his toys with anybody, just tell him the concept of taking turns. Okay, this is now your turn and now is your niece's turn, she'll play with you. Taking turns, giving him some options, these are some of the best parenting tips I would tell you. And in future also, I would love to tell you anything you wish to ask for. You are most welcome. This session is about to finish and I had a great time indulging with you all. I had a beautiful audience, and thank you so much FirstCry for giving me this opportunity to be here to answer those queries which were in the patient's mind, in the people's mind. And do approach for occupational therapy, speech therapy, developmental therapy, psychological counseling, or ABA therapy or group therapy if you feel still that some of the things are unmanageable, even after these tips. If you feel, you are free to approach. You are free to approach me or any of the therapists near you. So I had a great time. Thank you so much, FirstCry team. So I am just wrapping it up. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a very great time. A very good evening to all of you. Have a happy lockdown and make your home a happy place to live in, rather than just controlling, and don't follow the authoritarian rules at home. Just be friends with your kids. Thank you so much.